Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here to make a craft roulette card with you today. So, Craft Roulette episode 97 was a blast, as usual, and the parameters were square, the background blue plus 2 colors, a signpost, and tone on tone. So the first thing I did was I cut down some watercolor paper to 5x5. I'm going to make a square card. I love square cards. Now, of course, you don't have to make a square card. As the craft police had covered in the episode, you can also just make the square aspect of your design prominent. So here I am. I just punched out a Post-it, and this part didn't have anything sticky on it, so I added a couple of dots of glue. I was okay with that because of the design aspect of what I'm making, but I wouldn't put glue on a Post-it as a mask in general because it will tear your paper. Okay, my 3 colors are blue, obviously, yellow, and brown. So I put just a little bit of a yellow ring around the moon. It was not necessary. As I went further in design, I was kind of wishing I would have put blue and black against the edge of the moon, but it all worked out in the end. I think the yellow did add a nice pop of color. And I went a little heavy with the black, and so I did have to go back in later and add some blue back in. So my family and I have been watching the series Alone. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's not new. We're behind the times, but it's a really interesting survival show of people who get 10 items, go into a location and live alone, and survive as long as they can. And last man or woman standing gets money. So it's been really interesting for us to watch. It's one of those kind of really social experiments. And so that's what I'm basing my card on today. Okay, now I brought my mask, which was the other piece of the Post-it, and I'm just bringing in a little bit of the black to shade in the moon. And you can tell I did have some paper loss there where my glue was. But again, I really wasn't worried about it because it's like a crater of the moon and just adds a little texture and dimension. So Stacy was the guest. Stacy S was the guest on Craft Roulette this week, and it was such a delight to watch her work, and I just love how she crafts to bless others. I really encourage you guys to go, if you missed the live show, you can always catch it on the YouTube channel after the fact, and it's always entertaining. Every single guest never disappoints and is so unique and special, and I just really enjoyed it this week, and I loved watching her craft, and I loved hearing about why she crafts, and the kind of projects that she makes, and it was just really wonderful. Great show. And the chat is always such a supportive and fun place to be. I just can't say enough good things about it. Craft Roulette is hands down one of my favorite crafty things on YouTube, and I feel like it was one of my favorite things of 2021. Crafty Mama Diaries, Helen told me about it. They used to be on Facebook, and I don't do Facebook, but I did Facebook for Craft Roulette. It's that good. Okay, I am making a shaker card, and I am putting in my bits. This little tent and the trees that I'm using today are from a Queen and Company set called The Great Outdoors. I love this set. I've used it so many times. Not so many that you guys have seen, but just so many in general. I need to do like a 10 cards with it or something because it's such a cool set. And it was so fun because that's the only tent that I have in my stash. But I thought it was funny to go ahead and turn it into a shaker because, well, the contestants on Alone get all shooken up in their tents usually, because they're away from their family. I totally get it. We always joke like, I couldn't even last a day without my family out there. That would do me in for sure. So anyways, I thought it was comical to make it a shaker because they usually get pretty shooken up. And I understand that's kind of the hardest part of it to watch, is watching people in such sadness. But many prevail, and they all come. I always like the recap at the end of the season because you see that they're all thriving and fine, and it was a great experience. Okay, I'm adding a tree line. This is a dark blue cardstock. So the random parameter was tone on tone. So what I did is I made a blue tint, and then I even used the same blue paper for the inside of the tent, but I just tinted it a little darker. And then I brought in this blue for the tree line. I think typically in a scene like this, you would see black or maybe a dark green, like a real dark green, but I chose blue to go with the parameters. Adding in my last little tree here, my happy trees. And I'm so excited, you guys. This next week on Craft Roulette, my friend Ashley Young is going to be on, which she's on the #OldPlusNew team. And I can't wait to be there on Friday to support her and cheer her on and see what she makes. She's such a talented card maker. And I'm just so excited. Yay. All right. So here is my signpost, which was one of the parameters. And I just wrote bears and arrows going both directions. Because that's what gets some people, is the wildlife interactions, which would freak me out too, I think. I am not equipped for going on a show like that. That's for sure. I'm better in my craft room. Although I was cleaning my craft room the day I was making this card, which was yesterday, and I dropped something on my toe, cut my big toe. I was like, yeah, I'm not cut out for cleaning. I'm just cut out for crafting. I was joking with my husband. Okay, so I glued this all down. I wanted a thin white mat for it, and then I glued it down to a card base that is craft cardstock. I'm adding in a few gel stars around the edges. In case you're wondering, my craft cardstock is 5 3/4 by 11.5 folded in half. And here is my card. I had so much fun making it. I can't wait to see the gallery and what everyone has made. Definitely go check out Craft Roulette. You will not be disappointed. And thanks so much for hanging out with me. Have a great day. Bye.